Hello everybody, welcome to my very first video, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on how I made my Beetlejuice the Musical costume. I'm sorry if this video is very low quality because I'm starting this very abruptly and I don't have any equipment for this. But with all that said and done, let's get into the video. So I started off by putting some tunes on because I cannot work without listening to music. So, Beetlejuice from the musical has texturing on his suit that is actually printed on, but for the sake of cost and resources, I will be making it 3D by using puff paint. So, I started off by buying these two items from Amazon, both the coat and the pants. As you see here, I'm using puff paint to make dots, and I had already done the spiderwebby texture that he has on the other side of his suit. But pretty much what I do is I slightly press on the bottle, and I just press down on the fabric to make those small little dots. Now, I do this for every stripe on the suit, for half of it, and then the front is reversed on the texturing. So I've completed one stripe, and I have to do the rest, but I doubt you want to see me do these 3 stripes, so they're done. That was kind of a cool transition. First try. But now I have to go and do the tops because the top of the suit folded over, and I have to redo it. Now that that's done, I have to move on to the collar, which I've been really procrastinating to do. I started with the white, and now I have to do the black dots, and now they're done. But after I've finished these dots, now I have to do the spiderwebby texture on the other half of the collar. You'll never guess, these are now done too, but I have to wait for it to dry. But now that the collar's done, once it dries, I can move on to the sleeves. While we're waiting for that to dry, I would like to recognize somebody very talented who helped me out on this project. One of my very good friends, Alex Kaz, who helped by making this very beautiful wig. She does not do wig commissions yet, but she has stated that she'll start doing them by June. So go check her out, and maybe commission a wig while you're there. Thanks again to Alex Kaz for making me that amazing wig. So back to the coat. I started off the sleeves by doing the spiderwebby texture on the left sleeve. And how I do this is, once again, I lightly press down on the puff paint and kind of do just squiggly lines across the sleeve in random and obscure orders. Now that the sleeve is done, I have to wait for it to dry, though I may or may not have wrote my signature as a little Easter egg on the sleeve to sign my work. So after it's dry, I have to do the dot texture on the bottom. Hey, future me here. So this year, in November, I will be going to Saratoga Comic-Con, possibly with Alex Kaz. And if you want to come see me, I will be in the Beetlejuice costume, and you can meet me and take pictures if you'd like. So now that the squiggly lines are dry, I flipped it over and started putting the dots on, which dry fairly quickly, so I should be able to start on the other sleeve, which I will start with the dots, so it shouldn't take that long, and then I'll flip it over and do the squiggly lines because they take longer to dry. This whole process is pretty much do it, flip it over, rinse, and repeat. I do hope that all of yours, if you're trying to do this on your own, come out just as good as mine. So pretty much how I do all the withering is I just dab a napkin in some fabric paint and I just lightly tap it on the fabric until it gets, well, as dirty as I want it. So I pretty much do this for every single white stripe. So now that I've finished withering, you can tell that these stripes and these stripes sucked up the paint differently, though I still believe it turned out just fine as is. So pretty much at this point, I was very mentally drained, and I just got my butt kicked at a lacrosse game the previous night. So I decided to take a break, though I needed to find my string anyways, because I had no clue where it had gone, and I cannot finish the coat without it. To add the rips that Beetlejuice has on his coat, I took this yarn and decided I was going to untangle it. So here it is. And then I took a bunch of these and literally just glued them onto the spots and cut them in random orders, as you can see here. And this is the finished design of the coat. As you can see, you have the bunch of different rips and all the withering and texturing. Now, it's time to move on to the pants. So, funny enough, it would actually be a few days till I started the pants, but I finally got to them, and I'll explain how to do them next. So I started off by hemming the pants, which I also did on the coat and forgot to mention, but it was just to make sure that the coat had a nice straight edge. You'll never guess what I did next. That's right, I put the texturing on the pants. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but like I said before, it's just do the texturing, rinse, and repeat. So there's not much to it. Hey, so I forgot to address this earlier, and I'll do it now. The original coat, if you saw on the photo, it had pocket flaps on it, and once I was done editing it, it didn't. So, to let you all know, what I did, I took the easy road, and I just tucked the pocket flaps into the pocket, and I think it looks okay. Now that they're done, all I have to do is do the rest of the texturing, then the withering, and we're good. So, as you see here, I'm going with puff paint and doing the squiggly lines again, and pretty much what I do for these is I just do one line just back and forth, and then I go back and I overlap a line, and in the event that some gets clumped up, it will actually take longer to dry. So what I do is I go back once I'm done and I flatten out the lump, and then it should dry quicker. In the final stretch, all we have to do is the withering. Also, I will be including a parts list and price estimate at the end of the video. So I'm just touching up the final withering, and it's done. It's finally done, and I am so happy with how it turned out. Now, depending on how this goes, I might make a YouTube short on how I made the tie. Here's the part list with all the costs and materials used. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing. And if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. But with all that said, in the words of Beetlejuice, it's showtime.